What's going on, guys? Welcome to VOA's Red Carpet. My name is Jackson Bunganyi. I want to thank you for joining us today on the show right here. Each week we bring you the latest in entertainment news, in sports, in fashion, in film, and television from around the world. Let's start the show. And we begin with the 10 African films that have been submitted to the Academy Awards for consideration as Oscar nominees for Best International Feature Film. They include Kenya's The Letter,
Unasikia sasa?
and Nigeria's The Milkmaid. You may recall our Grace Oyanubi catching up with the film's executive producer Shewun Sewemumi here in Washington last year. The film tells the stories of two sisters whose lives were shattered by gender-based violence of militant insurgency. Here is a look.
The Milkmaid is a story that is topical, given what's happening in sub-Saharan Africa and the decimation of lives that's happening with the insurgency, especially with women and the girl child.
Camera set. Action. The story of The Milkmaid is a story of two sisters who are living their lives as milkmaids in the village. And the younger sister is in the process of getting married, and that wedding happens, but right in the middle of the wedding, they encounter an attack by extremists and get taken away from their village, relocated to the camp of the extremists. There they undergo the process of indoctrination and basically a new way of living, which they are not accustomed to.
There's a physical background where we're showcasing the landscape in this part of the country, the beauty of the landscape, and we're also showcasing the cultural landscape, the color and the elegance of the Fulani culture.
Menene kike so?
Na neman yar uwata.
Menene zaki bada?
Mu kuma za mu koya miki yadda ya kamata har ki ce da mu kin gode.
Na yanke shawarin zan aurar da wannan matan. Ba za ki bi umarni na ba. Daga mi ita daga nan.
Idan ta mutu ma, haka Allah ya so. Ki shirya kamar mace ta gari. Ina zuwa anjima da dare.
What we don't usually have are stories behind the people involved in this crisis. What we see are the statistics, or 10 people died, 15 people died, 50 people died. But we get to know nothing about these people as human beings, their lives, their loves, their desires, their hopes. So the film really aims to train a spotlight on the lives of the people caught up in the insurgency situation in the country.
The truth is, the girls are still being taken. So it's not so much bring back our girls, it's stop taking our girls.
Koma yadda muke da.
Ba za mu iya ba. Babu ma wanda zai iya.
And also from Nigeria is a powerful new film, Ife, the tale of love between two Nigerian women that is so controversial, the filmmakers scrapped plans to release it locally.
I told my mom first. Took her about it.
In the Yoruba language of Nigeria, Ife means love. But this love story between two women in a society where homosexuality is largely shunned and where same-sex marriage is illegal The nation's censorship board threatened to go after the film's maker for promoting homosexuality in a film industry that, despite its huge output, is largely conservative. That has led the filmmakers to not push for local release. They instead plan to drop it online on December 10th.
Filmmakers here, mainstream filmmakers, usually shy away from telling stories that center LGBT people. And even when those stories are told, they are told from a very negative point of view.
More than 30 African countries criminalize non-heterosexual relationships. In 2018, Kenya's first lesbian feature film, Rafiki, was banned at home, despite the fact that it was the nation's first piece to premiere at the prestigious Cannes Film Festival. So who should watch this film? US-based writer and filmmaker Noni Sama, who is Nigerian and transgender, said the answer is simple. Everybody.
I think it's a big deal for queer people, for lesbian women, for people who are not lesbian women who, just want to watch stuff that's outside, the mainstream narrative, or even people who might be uncomfortable.
It's also a story of pain, says Adie, one that many members of the community can relate to.
I was pretty much rejected by my whole family, especially my mom, who at some point asked me to move out of our family house. And later on she asked me to change my family name.
The same holds in South Africa, which was the first African nation to decriminalize homosexuality and allow gay marriage. Activist and storyteller Welcome Lashiva says even here, lesbians are overlooked and subjected to horrible treatment.
The story of lesbian women is no different from the story of women in general in relation to men, because we live in a deeply sexist society, a deeply patriarchal society.
So is Africa ready for this film? Adie will leave it to her characters, Ife and Adora, to answer that.
We're lesbians. This is the perfect time.
Anita Powell, VOA News, Johannesburg.
Grammy Award winner and UNICEF Goodwill Ambassador Angelique Kidjo says the Recording Academy's decision to change the name of the world music category to global music was long overdue. Here is more on why she says there are negative connotations to colonization associated with the phrase world music.
Kidjo, who has won 4 Grammy Awards herself, said she recalls talking about the category name with Miriam Makeba, a singer and activist who brought attention to African music.
She said, I'm convinced they wanted to call it third world music. Their music everybody's music come from the third world. Who called anyone the world the first world? What is that? What does that mean anyway?
Kidjo told the Associated Press she thinks the previous name boxed in performances from non-European and non-white countries.
I always hated that because, as we're talking about racism, it was a box that was made for us, people that doesn't sing in English, French, Portuguese, or Spanish, those colonizing language. We say colonization is over, but yet you still have institutions, you still have things that goes on that keep those differentiation of things going on.
She said after winning her most recent Grammy Award earlier this year, the Recording Academy gathered up musicians to discuss the name change for the category.
And we have a brainstorming with a lot of artists and producers from Africa, because everybody felt the same way. I mean, I was the only one for years saying this is not right. And we were between international and global, and then we said global is better because we're part of one world.
Meanwhile, another well-known UNICEF Goodwill Ambassador is helping kick the fight against malaria into high gear in a new short film. A former soccer star David Beckham stars as his future self, a man in his 70s who announces in the video that malaria has been vanquished. The new promotional film has been released by Malaria Must Die, a campaign raising awareness of the deadly disease which kills a child every 2 minutes in the world. The 45-year-old is also a founding member of the Malaria No More UK Leadership Council.
Right now, the fight is harder than ever. And as a father, it breaks my heart that a child dies every 2 minutes from malaria. A future free from this disease is possible in our lifetimes. We must unite and tell our leaders that we won't stop until the job is done. Join me and share to declare that malaria must die so millions can live.
And speaking of athletes who are making a difference, Sports Illustrated's 2020 Sportsperson of the Year went to 5 men and women who you've probably heard of. That's the NBA's Lebron James, the WNBA's Breanna Stewart, the NFL's Patrick Mahomes, and Laurent Duvernay-Tardif, and US Open champion Naomi Osaka. The 5 pros are known to be champions in uniform, but they spoke up in an eventful year that was about more than just basketball, football, or tennis. These athletes spoke out about the Black Lives Matter movement, about women's equality, voter suppression, and the battle against COVID-19. Here is a red carpet salute to all those stars. And when it comes to running, Perez Cheptegei and Evans Chebet are 2 athletes making headlines. The Kenyan runners dominated the women's and men's races respectively at the Valencia Marathon in Spain, breaking world records and winning both women's and men's marathons in a high-quality field.
Kibiwott Kandie, also from Kenya, became the first person to break 58 minutes for a half marathon, smashing the previous record by 29 seconds. In the women's marathon, Perez Cheptegei was in control, finishing in 2 hours, 17 minutes and 16 seconds, almost a minute and a half quicker than her nearest rival, Joycelyn Jepkosgei. Namibia's Hilalia Johans came third. But it was a much tighter affair in the men's race. A sprint for the finish line saw Evans Chebet beat his fellow countryman Lawrence Chereno by just 4 seconds. Ethiopia's Berhanu Legesse came in third.
And as we gear up for the holidays, one singer is always helping us get in the spirit as part of the legacy of our iconic holiday tune, All I Want for Christmas Is You.
This year, Mariah Carey has gifted the world a new present, the Apple TV Plus event Mariah Carey's Magical Christmas Special, hoping to provide some Christmas cheer during a time some may need it more than ever.
I'm a very tough audience at Christmas. So if I love it, I think it's festive. Let's put it that way. It's more than festive. It really is coming at a time where I think we all just need a little bit of that extra, feeling a little bit better about our lives because of what we've gone through in this past year.
After All I Want for Christmas hit #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 during its 25th anniversary last year, Carey told the Associated Press the idea of a special was sparked just a couple of months later.
We started talking around February with the folks at Apple about doing a Christmas special, and thankfully they were so able to help realize this dream of really doing something special and spectacular and not having it just be like, here's a regular concert, whatever, but like during COVID, people made magic happen with this.
Starring Carey and narrated by actor-comedian Tiffany Haddish, the production centers around the holiday cheer crisis, with Santa's friend Mariah coming to save the day. Performers include Ariana Grande, Snoop Dogg, and Jennifer Hudson.
And with that, we come to the end of our show today. I want to thank you for hanging out with me. My name is Jackson Vunganyi. For more entertainment news, remember to check us out at voanews.com. We are also on social media, on Facebook, on Twitter, Instagram, and on YouTube, where you can watch our videos. Remember to share and subscribe. Until next time, goodbye, everyone.